Hey you, yes you, car collector, what are you doing right now? Nothing, I guess. If you're anything like me, you're a football fan, watching and looking at every single piece of news or training camp footage that you can get your hands on. From a car collecting perspective, it's not much going on either. We see the Panini NFLPA Rookie Premier Showcase, where the top rookies take their first pictures that grace the cover of the Panini Diamonds football cards that release later on in 2024. Today, I'm here to give you a leg up on the competition and give you my post-rookie training camp rankings from a trading card perspective. I'll track these rankings throughout the season. Some of the players may go up, some of the players may go down, but we'll come back to this list every week or two to see what changes come throughout the year. So grab a drink, maybe a bag of popcorn or chips, sit back and relax and enjoy the show. These are my post-training camp rankings. All right, so let's get into it. We have our usual suspects in the rankings. We have Caleb Williams at 1, Drake May, Jaden Daniels, followed by JJ McCarthy, Bo Nix, and Michael Penix. So like I said, this is going to be our list just coming out of the post training camp. We're gonna take this throughout the off season, and like I said, we'll start from here. Let's go ahead and get it kicked off with the number 1 player on our list. All right, so now we are to Caleb Williams. The first thing we can just start off with, he's a generational talent. We've seen guys like, him, Andrew Luck, Peyton Manning, Patrick Mahomes even. These guys are just generational talents, and they can make any play, any throw on the field, and I think that's going to, greatly help the Bears, in their rebuild process after Justin Fields. Again, he's the first overall pick. First overall picks add to that card value. I'm going to throw some cards up here on the screen. It looks like we're going to use that Bowman Chrome, and it looks like it's going around $300. I'm going to try to use the 2023 so that we can keep everybody's average together, with Michael Penix coming up, McCarthy, just to make sure we keep a baseline set, in order to get a good range on the prices. The next thing is a great supporting cast. We have Keenan Allen coming up, DJ Moore. They just drafted, a guy we'll talk about later, Roma Dunze, at wide receiver. So you have 3 great receivers along with DeAndre Swift. So I think, they made great strides to, protect Caleb and make sure he has a great, season and a great landing, to start the rookie year. They didn't do that with Justin Fields. They weren't able to get him the weapons and the O-line help and, frankly, the defense that could sustain and, help keep him in games. So they made a lot of changes. They were able to get Montez Sweat at the end of last season. So that defense will help the offense stay in games, and we'll see the upgrades that they made and how Caleb responds. Next, we have Drake May. We've seen, what he has as far as that potential is concerned. A lot of people are going to say, hey, Jaden was the number 2 pick. We just talked about draft capital. How's he in front of, how's Drake May in front of Jaden Daniels? I think it's because he has that higher ceiling and that higher potential, as well as the team being under that new management. Hey, man, shout out my boy Gerard Mayo, 757, stand up. We're from the same hometown, respect. Definitely excited to see what he's going to do. And like I said, that new management, new mind, new thinking, new play. So they're going to change their style up. And hey, you guys, you New England fans, you all have been looking for, that replacement for Brady for the past almost, 4 or 5 years, going on 5 years now, We thought Mac Jones was the answer. He wasn't. We thought Bailey Zappi could do something. Unfortunately, he can't. So we went out there and got Drake May. I'm going to throw some of his prices up here. And hey, again, I had to move him in front of Jaden because his prices are up here competing with Caleb Williams. And with the rookie camp, the ups and downs of Drake May, but again, it's that potential. It's going to take that time. I see him, the first time I seen him, I was like, hey, he reminds me like a baby Josh Allen. He's gonna be, little what they say, little baby deer legs. He's gonna be a little wobbly at first, but once he gets his feet under him and he finally, packs on a few pounds and gets into the playbook and learns what he needs to learn, he is gonna be a problem. Next up on the list, we have Jaden Daniels, and again, second overall pick. That's very huge, for his capital and as far as his potential. He had great supporting cast at LSU, so I'm just curious to see how this transitions over to the NFL. Again, they're under new management with the Commanders. Josh Harrison, the team coming in to, help rebuild that team after Daniel Snyder had to step down. So, they have Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dotson, Brian Robinson. They just signed Austin Eckler. So, it's going to take some time. I'm going to throw a few of his cards, on the screen as well. They're a little bit, less than Drake May and Caleb Williams. But again, this is the beginning of the season. These beginning rankings. So, we'll go from there and see how those rankings change. Next up on the list, we have J.J. McCarthy. Coming into the draft, people were a little bit weary about, his film. When he was at Michigan, he wasn't asked to pass much. They're a very run-centric team, Now that he is, going to the NFL, people have started to look back, at his film and see, hey, let's see what we have. Let's take a deep dive and see what throws he did make. And they're seeing great throws. A lot of precision and accuracy, which is definitely something that, that's going to carry over to the NFL. And the good thing about this precision and accuracy is he's going to a place that has a great supporting cast. Justin Jefferson, they were able to get, Addison as well as signing Jones from Green Bay. I think that'll definitely help ease, that transition from college to the NFL. And, that could affect his prices, as well as, he has that Michigan connection. So he has that built-in, big alma mater college pricing. So he's always going to have a little bit of an uptick of a bump there. But, hey, if he's able to take off, and he might not be doing great, but he'll be having that great supporting cast. They'll have a great record. They'll be in the playoffs. That'll help boost his stock a little bit. And then from there, we'll see how the combination of that cast and the traits affect his growth and his future overall in the NFL. Now we're on to Bo Nix. With Bo Nix, we're really looking more at that draft capital, as well as, the Broncos just wanted to move on from Russ. They really, did not like the Russ experience. Broncos country, let's ride. Hated every second of it. So, Bo Nix, a fresh start with Sean Payton. I feel like it's going to be great, to come into the new system. And they're comparing this guy to Drew Brees. I'm not, but they're comparing this guy to Drew Brees and his potential. He was a 5-year starter, coming from Auburn to Oregon, having this great run last year, with guys like, Troy Franklin and Bucky Irving, who, on his team he was able to get Troy Franklin in the draft. So he'll have his sidekick with him, as he moves through the NFL. I like that. The process of getting Bo Nix and needing a quarterback, having that great defense, but you just trade away Jerry Jeudy. You have Courtland Sutton. We don't know what his future is going to look like. So Bo Nix is going to have a little bit of an uphill battle, but with Sean Payton, I think the baseline is going to be there. We're just going to see, will there be a higher ceiling? We don't know. Now on to Michael Penix Jr. As a Falcons fan, I was extremely confused when we first made this pick. I actually made a video about this. I'm going to link it up top right hand corner. I was just so frustrated, being that I felt like we needed defensive players and we could have used Rome Odunze as an extra offensive weapon for Kirk Cousins. But listening to more information from the GM and the owner being on board with it, I've kind of just come around to it. I mean, he's already on our team. We have no other choice. So I definitely love his potential traits. They had this guy, as their QB, 2 behind Caleb Williams. So, I mean, they decided to just go ahead and take him so that, if Kirk Cousins is good, hey, we have a backup quarterback that after, 2 years we can, let Cousins walk and we now have a quarterback for the next 10 years. Or, hey, I mean, there's no telling that after this Achilles injury with Kirk Cousins that he's going to come back 100%. So definitely having that insurance and that backup will be great for the Falcons. Along with, if something were to happen to him, he'll step right into a great supporting cast. He has Bijan Robinson, he has Drake London, he has Kyle Pitts. He'll have all these guys that'll help, keep his value, this at a great pace, because if Kirk Cousins go down, he'll be able to step right in and keep the ship going, as well as, he has that extra potential. Hey, I mean, there's no, not a possibility he beats out Kirk Cousins. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I haven't seen any reports of it, but it could happen. So I just wanted to throw him in there because, at this time, his car prices are going to be, in the middle of, the Drake May, Caleb Williams type range. But if he gets to start, he could shoot right up to, 3 or 2 or, hey, maybe even 1, depending on what Caleb does. So this wraps up the quarterback rankings. Drop a comment below. Let me know who's too high and who's too low. Who will you be collecting this year? I'll be coming back later on with the wide receiver rankings as a miscellaneous rankings with, running backs, DBs, cornerbacks, offensive linemen, defensive linemen, different things like that. So if you want, go ahead and drop a subscribe, and I'll see you later. Peace.